What's up? This is David, and today I want to talk to you about authentic communication. And to give you a little context of this, I want to tell you a little story, give you a little background of my journey of communication, of being authentic, more authentic, and of public speaking. So it's been many years since I've been involved in public speaking, and it all started when I joined like these public speaking clubs. And the organization is called Toastmasters. Maybe you've heard of them, but they have these public speaking clubs all over the world. And it's a non-profit organization. They're not doing it for money or anything. They're really out there trying to help people with their public speaking. And when I first joined these clubs, I would prepare all my speeches, and I would practice tons and tons of times, and I would spend a lot of time writing and preparing these speeches and making sure that it's perfect. I would say this sentence on minute 1, and then I would say this sentence on minute 35. It would be exact, right? And so this is how I would progress in my public speaking. And I got really good after a few years of this. And there came a point though where I would record every single one of my speeches, by the way. And then when I would watch back my speeches, then I would watch myself speaking, and whenever I saw myself speaking, I felt something just being off. Something is just off, right? Just it felt so scripted, it felt so fake. I could probably close my eyes and then I could imagine myself reading off of a script, okay? And I thought, that was really interesting because it just felt so artificial. It just felt so robotic. And I learned so much from this organization. They taught me how to organize my speeches and structure my speeches. But one thing that they weren't really teaching was the underlying level, authenticity of being real up on the stage, right? And so that's what I was missing. When I was watching myself in these videos, that authenticity was missing. I can say the perfect line, the perfect thing with the perfect tonality, but just that being factor wasn't there. I was doing it, I was operating from the paradigm of doing, but I wasn't just there. Where's my heart and soul in this, right? I could see my body, I could see my mouth moving, but where's the heart and soul, David? So the last few years, I actually had to do a lot of unlearning. I had to unlearn what I learned. So I had to take, it was about taking 10 steps back in order to move 15 steps forward, and that kind of thing. And the funniest thing happened, when I tried to communicate in a way that was more real and authentic, the less and less I would have to rely on scripts. Actually, the scripts were actually pulling me down. Scripts were actually making me more artificial. And so I let go of being reliant on these scripts and, freestyling it more, being more improvised on it. And it just creates more authenticity. People can just feel the authenticness of somebody when they're speaking. And I also, the ums and ahs, they also started coming back because in these clubs, they actually count your filler words. They have a roll taker called an ah counter, and this person would count how many ums and ahs you have in your speeches and try to get rid of all your filler words. And so for the first few years, I worked on getting rid of all my ums and ahs, right? And then I got to a point where I would have zero. I would have zero ums and ahs in my speeches, and even my improvised speeches, I wouldn't have any ums and ahs. But then this also impacted the way I was speaking. This also impacted my authenticity, because I realized whenever I tried to hold back my ums and ahs, it drained a lot of energy. It takes a lot of mental RAM just to remove these filler words from coming in. Okay, and it felt less authentic. And so the last few years, I pretty much allowed the ums and ahs to come back in. And that way, it actually, it felt very liberating. Because I talked about persona fatigue before in another video. But persona fatigue is the idea that when you try to become somebody who you're not, when you put up a front, you have this wall, the ego, when you're pretending you're all this, bragging and being all high status, well, that's persona fatigue. You're trying to be somebody who you're not, and this takes up a lot of mental energy, right? And then this creates a big fatigue. We call this persona fatigue. But then when you just let go and you're just real, and you even allow the mistakes to come, you allow the ums and ahs every once in a while to enter into your stream of consciousness, then you feel so liberated. I have so much more energy just being real, And not only that, but it just connects with the audience so much better. Right? People just can tell when somebody is authentic or not. And people want to be on the receiving end of authentic communication. And I believe I talked about this, but it's actually very evolutionary. It's actually very tribal. Let's pretend you are in a tribe, you're part of a tribe, and there comes this new person. A new person enters the tribe. And as human beings, we have to be able to tell if this person is lying or if this person is not lying, if this person is real or false. Because if this person has a hidden agenda and we let them in the tribe, and then they might, end up destroying the tribe. They might end up stealing all our stuff or killing our tribe or something like that. So we human beings, we innately have a BS meter. We can pick up inauthentic. We can pick up somebody who's being inauthentic, somebody who's lying, right? And I'm pretty sure you've had a time where, you met somebody and you just felt something was off about this person. Maybe you couldn't really describe it in words, but you just felt something off about this person, right? And then in the future, you realize that you were right? I don't know, they betrayed you or something. And so we all have this, I would say, receiver that picks up authenticity. And we all want to be able to receive authentic communication, and we just want to. It also helps to connect with people. It also helps to connect with the audience, because when somebody is just vulnerable and they're just being real, they're just being true, you just connect with them so much more better, right? And so I used to think that communication was all about logic, all about just being structured and saying the right words, but that's not it at all. And yeah, for sure, there's a time and place to be logical. You still want to be structured so that it kind of makes logical sense. But underneath all of that is feelings and emotions, right? These are primal. These senses are primal, and then language is created on top of these, right? So the big underlying type of communication is authenticity. It's being real. It's connecting with the audience. Right? And these videos, like, I'm not scripting these things. I am doing this off the cuff, on the top of my head, and just being as real as possible. And in this way, I'm hoping I'm connecting with you better. I believe this is a way better way to connect with you, rather than just me scripting every single line and being so robotic about it. And yeah, that's my little journey of how I went from being like this very robotic and then like scripted person to being more and more authentic. And so like I want to send a message to you and to give you permission to be authentic. That you don't have to have the perfect thing to say. You really don't. You can say the perfect things with the right tonality and the right, everything, vocal tonality and the right speed and tempo and everything like that. But if the authenticity isn't there, the audience is just not going to connect with it. Okay. So just be real. Put your heart and soul out there, and we'll just be able to feel that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to be real, and that'll connect with the audience so much better. So yeah, that's all I had for today. Hope you found value out of this one, and I hope you felt my authenticity here, because this is truly me being me with all the mistakes and all the flaws in this video, just laying it out there. And I hope you just felt that. So that's it for this video, and I hope you found value, and I'll see you in the next one.